So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZWGames5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below.
What's up YouTube, Dad here from Z4 Games, and today I am going to bring you a test stand video for Generaider. Now this is my pure Generaider build. I took this to my locals today. You should, by now, if I've uploaded the videos in time, also seen a duel video of this playing against DDDs for a bit of fun. Now this deck is not going to topple the current Orcus meta right now, but it's still a very, very fun deck, and I do highly advise everyone picking them up now before we get Ignition Assault, because in Ignition Assault we get a brand new Generaider monster, and we also get a brand new, basically, draw card for level 9s. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 test stands going first and 2 test stands going second. And this deck really revolves around how you personally want to build it. If you want to focus on getting level 9 flooded onto the board first turn, VFD stun kind of variant or version of it, then I highly advise probably reducing extravagance or removing extravagance to go into cards that let your opponent add a card from their deck to the hand during your first turn. Alternatively, what you kind of do is you resolve around the field spell. So, without further ado, before we get started, please give the video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you do not miss out on anything else coming up. Without further ado, after a decent shuffle and a good cut, my opening hand of 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Would be bad if I didn't get a Generaider, not gonna lie. Okay, so we're gonna activate Extravagance during our main phase so that we don't get, so we don't miss the opportunity to do so. Now, ultimately, if your opponent wants to ash you right now, you're okay because you still do the boss. All it is about is getting your field spell. And not many people are playing Ghost Ogre right now. Yes, people are playing Cosmic Cyclone, which can be an issue because your trap card also lets you play it from deck or graveyard. So when it gets banished, you are in a lot of trouble. As of right now, it's not the end of the world, so you do have a lot to play with still. So we're going to draw 2, Call by Grave and the field spell, which is great. Well, now what we're going to do is we're going to use our Generaider boss quest. We're going to reveal this, and what it does is it allows you to add 2 Generaider spell and traps in your deck. Now, 9 out of 10, if I've already got the field spell, what I want to be searching is you use boss fight as a protection, but 9 out of 10 I choose boss room and boss loot. Now, boss room, if you do this correctly, if your opponent chains an effect to any of your Generaider card effects, it becomes both players draw a card, and then that's pretty much their effect. So that is another way of chain blocking and protecting your Generaider boss stage, because obviously it does effect. Now this goes to the bottom of the deck, and what we're going to do is we're going to activate our field spell. This goes to the graveyard. We're then going to play loot. Loot is if you control a token, your opponent cannot target your effect monsters for attacks, and then if one of your effect monsters is destroyed, your opponent draws 1 card. We're going to set our boss room. We're going to set our imperm. I used to like, if I know they're not playing pendulums, I'll put it in the middle, because just normal human play right now is put in a card in the middle, and then we're going to play the Call by the Grave. Now we pass. Our opponent draws. The field spell goes off during the draw phase, which is very nice, and then what you get to do is you get to special summon 1 from your deck. Now the ones you want to be special summoning is either the Nidhogg, which is basically your Solemn Strike, or you want to be going into your Frody. Now obviously when we get the new card, you'll be going into that castle instead. For a bit of defensive play, I'm going into the Nidhogg. I've got enough to protect it right now. I'm just going to shuffle the deck up. And then my field spell will give me 4 tokens. Now unfortunately the tokens have to go into attack position, but the idea is you want to be tributing at least one of these off to negate a special summon. You're going to activate boss room as well, so that when you activate this effect, it will be a draw 1 kind of effect, and it means that your effect can't be negated in a sense. And then you're going to keep going during your opponent's turn. So at this point in time, you've got a Call by the Grave, you've got an Infinite Impermanence, which will also shut down their middle column, and then you've got a Solemn Warning by tributing off a token. Your opponent will then eventually have to pass, and then these tokens will be destroyed, and you'll draw for turn. Now, Lone Fire Blossom is a great top deck. It doesn't get much better than that. If your opponent adds anything, of course your boss stage will go off, but what you want to do is you want to go Blossom. Blossom will go all the way through. You can get rid of all 3 copies if you want, but ultimately you're going into your Mardell. Mardell's effect will then go off. Now you could add a Generaider monster. Now if you did, you could put it back with your quest, because there's no point in actually having a monster in hand unless you're going to go for the plays of this card. Now, I want to end up with a Frody on the board. What you can also do is you can go into your XYZ and then trigger that off as well. So if we go with Mardell, and we'll go Mardell can add a boss fight, because I want to protect my field spell right now. Then if you really want to trigger off your field spell, what I'll do is I'll overlay these, if we've got any left. There you go. So you go into the XYZ. Now, I like to detach the Solemn Warning player, or the Solemn Warning card, Nidhogg. Send this, everyone draws one, or both players draw one, and then attach one of the cards from your hand to that card. So I'm going to put this one under it, my opponent will put a random card under it, my XYZ will be at 3k, my field spell will trigger. Now, because you've got rid of this one, what you want to be doing is you want to bring out your zombie one, your Hela, you do your damage off of your Nidhogg. Then if you want to, if you're going in for game, you can use the effect of this, keep this in attack, use the effect of tribute to bring this out and then attack. But ideally what you want to be doing is during your opponent's draw phase, is you summon one out. So we'll go for the Frody. So let's say we've done all our damage, we go to our opponent's turn, we'll keep Hela in defense. Your opponent draws for their standby, or their draw phase, sorry. Effect of the field spell, bring out Frody, gives us 3 tokens. Then if you want to be a bit proactive and make sure you don't get caught out, you use Hela's effect to tribute one of these to bring this back. And then you've got this effect to tribute one to basically summon strike your opponent. You've then got this to attach it and make it a 4k beta, sorry. And then you've got your Frody if you want to tribute 2 of these off to pop 2 cards. So you've got enough disruption going right there for you as well. And the XYZ is a nice little beefer. If you don't want to use the XYZ, of course you could go into a VFD. I've actually found myself playing it a bit more pure and not using the VFD because I actually quite like, which you can still do with, if you go with VFD, you can still have the Solemn Warning play, you can still have the Reviver, you can still have the Popper, which is actually really, really good. So it really depends on what angle you want to go with and see how it goes from there. I'm just loving this deck right now, it's so fun to play. Okay, so that we kind of overextended quite a bit. I showed you through pretty much 2 turns. What we're going to do on this one is we'll probably do 1 turn, maybe do their standby phase and see where we go from there. So we're going to shuffle this up again and we'll do my second test hand going first. And then get a very decent cut. And then our opening hand of 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One thing you've got to remember about World Legacy is it actually has a second effect. It can special summon one from hand, and it actually catches a lot of people off, and it's really, really good. But regardless, this hand again is insane. All you need is the field spell. So you play the field spell, you can set one of the monstrosities for a bit of safety if you want to. Pass, your opponent draws, you trigger off the field spell. Now, because you've got 2 in hand, you could go for the Iron. I just want to be a bit more defensive. Go with this one. Now, ideally, if you go with Frody, you can actually get a bit more out, so you just have to play it a little bit more unorthodox. So what you do is, if we go with a Frody instead, we get ourselves 4 tokens. Still have a monstrosity set, by the way. Then, once your opponent's got 2 monsters on board, use Frody, get rid of these 2. Obviously, you let them draw 2, which is a bit annoying, but it happens. Then, quick play monstrosity, target this. Special summon 2 from the deck. So we'll go with Iron, and then we'll also go with the Solemn Warning. And then what you can do is you can Solemn Warning, get rid of 1, and then you can Iron, get rid of the other one. And you can bring this one down for protection, because if any of your cards will be destroyed by battle card effect, this guy will protect them. And then you can kind of go from there. Then during your next turn, you've got protection by tributing off one of these guys. It's not the end of the world. You've already used your Solemn Warning, you've used your Frody. I'm just going to shuffle this out. It doesn't matter what card we draw, really. We've got that monstrosity as well. So no matter what card we draw, Ash Blossom, nice little bit of protection there. You've got plays. You've pretty much got game if you want to. You can VFD, you can Solemn Warning, you can Mardell to get you a search of any of the Generaider cards you want as well. So that is building a board and pretty much stunning the board. Now let's try and see how we break a board. Now again, it's a little bit harder because ideally what you need to do in order to get your board going is you do need your opponent to search or add a card from their deck to the hand. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky going second, because you want to break the board. That's ideally where you want to side in some cards like your Super Polys and stuff like that, because as you see, you do not rely heavily on the extra monster zone, and you have enough monsters on board to basically use as links for that and then still get a rank 9 out as well. So after a very decent shuffle and a good cut, our opening hand of 6 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, not the end of the world, not bad at all actually. You've got very good places, you've got monstrosity. So we're going to use Generaider's boss quest. This allows us, if this gets ashed, it means our lone fire can go through technically. We're going to put this to the bottom. We're going to activate our field spell. Oh, we're going to get a field spell, and we'll also get... Again, it depends. If I think my opponent's going to try and chain effects to this during the next standby phase, I'll use this. If I want to protect my stuff, I'll use this. If I think that they're going to pop this, I'll use this. So you've got the options of either one of those. We'll go with these two. Just well, actually, we're going a bit more aggressive, so let's go with this one. And then Frody goes to the bottom. Wherever Frody is, will be at the bottom. Activate this. Activate the field spell. Activate loot. Then go lone fire. You can go straight into the Mardell if you want, or you can go through the second lone fire. It's up to you. We'll go Mardell. Mardell's effect to add a Generaider card. So we'll add this way, boss room. Activate monstrosity. Monstrosity. Get Ib. Ib gives you nice protection, and if your opponent's got limit monsters, Ib is going to send them all. And the best thing about this, if you do this correctly, like if you'd search Medell, then or did Medell for monstrosity, you can go chain it 1, chain it 2 to protect the Ib from being destroyed. But then what we'll do is we'll go, if you want to be protective, you go with this. So you can use Ib's effect, and if they try to destroy this, you can use Nagfur's effect, get rid of this, and off you go. So just with this board straight away, you've got a decent amount of attack on board, you've got the big beater on board as well. 3 cards in hand. Then if you want to XYZ or do anything you want on this one, you can. You can also trigger this effect by going into your XYZ, into the Jamarga. I think I got it right. You can also go into this guy if you want to as well. It's entirely up to you. Or you go VFD. It really depends on what you want to go to. If you want to force this to go off, you can overlay these two, go into this one, use this effect. Again, do the exact same combo that I showed you. So you detach whatever card you want to revive. Everyone draws one. Oh, hello. Draws one, and then attaches one. So we'll attach the lone fire, and then our opponent will attach a random one. So we're going to be sitting on 3k. Trigger the field spell, summon one from deck. And then the best thing about this is, because this is a quick effect, even if you want to use your zombie, the zombie can bring it back. But you can use the battle phase. Let me just check to see if this is other. No, any. So you'd go battle phase, 3k, 21, 15, effect to this, quick effect, tribute itself, summon this one, 24, set, pass, opponent draws, you'll then get the effective field spell, you get 2 more tokens, you've got solemn warning, and then if you go into your zombie one, you can bring back your Nag Flare, or you can go into your Frody as well. And then that's if you've left your opponent with any options, and if you haven't cleared their board off already. So that is that test hand, and now we will do our last test hand going second. Monstrosity plays a very big part. Very big part. It is incredibly powerful and very good in this deck. So be warned, that's one you want to, if you're playing against this deck, that's the one you want to hit. If you're playing this deck, that's the one you want to kind of protect. So you want to try and bait out all their negates first, and then use the monstrosity. So after we've shuffled this and given it our final cut of the day, put that on top. Our final hand of 6 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Busted. So we'll play the imperm during our opponent's turn, or our turn should we need it. You've got Dark World dealings, which is insane, because what you're going to do is you're going to go lone fire. If you want to cycle through your lone fire, by all means you can do so, but you can actually trigger the field spell right now, which is insane. So you'll go with your Mardell. Mardell's effect searches you out the field spell. Play the field spell, play Dark World dealings. Draw 1, ditch 1, and ditch monstrosity. Or if you want to keep your monstrosity as a quick play, you can ditch the lone fire. That will then trigger the field spell. Field spell then lets you summon. So let's summon Frody. I don't mind if my opponent draws right now. So what you want to do is you want to go monstrosity, target either of these, bring 2 out, So if we bring out our Ib, protection, and then we'll bring out our zombie, Hela. Hela? Yeah, Hela's one. So then what you ideally want to do is you can XYZ if you wish. So if we do, we want to keep Hela on board. So if we do both of these, you can go VFD if you want, entirely up to you. You can even go into a Generaider Earth Slicer. I'm going to go into this one. I'm going to use the effect of this. You need to make sure that you're going to be able to detach. So we're going to detach this, draw one, attach one, and then attach one. And then what you do is you go battle phase. Alternatively, if you want to, you can tribute this off, bring this back, and this contribute to the pop 2. What we're going to do is you want to go battle phase, 3k, 21, 800, effect, tribute itself off, bring back this, tap 25, or use effect to tribute this off, entirely up to you. And again, you can play this completely differently if you wanted to. Set this, pass, draw, effect to field spell, and then off you go again. So you bring out your Solemn Warning player, and you bring out the Protector of Nagclear as well. And that is it for Generaids. Very, very simple kind of concept, very, very powerful. The biggest risk that you play with this deck is bricking. Now, I played today for 5 rounds of Switch. I say today, this video will probably go up a couple of days in the future. So when I did play this deck, I faced, in 5 rounds that I played, 2 games, or not even 2 games, 1 game I bricked hard. Like 1 game I was too extravagant. I played too extravagant, and then I was 2 turns away from even getting a card to play my field spell. So that was how far I was away on that one. Everything else, it kind of like flowed quite smoothly. And there's a couple of changes I might make. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I'm considering dropping some of these down to 1, like even the iron, dropping it down to 1, because I don't use and abuse it. I don't actually leave the Generaider in my hand long enough, especially when we get the new spell card that drops and draws 2. I'd actually drop iron down to 1. That could be one of the castle. Frody I don't like, but I also like at the same time because he pops 2 cards and lets you. It does let your opponent draw 2 cards, so you only want to use his effect if you know you're going to get game off of the back of him as well. So yeah, that is it for the test stands. I hope this gave you a couple of ideas of, take the camera out, of how the deck works, how it operates, and just kind of the way it goes. I'm looking forward to the new support in Ignition Assault, and I can't wait to see it in action once we get it. I certainly say to you guys, pick these cards up right now while you can. The expensive cards are the Field Spell at about 10 quid, and then Medell, the plant one, just because it is the only one that you can technically get to via a normal summon, and you saw how important it was at getting pretty much the combo going and getting the deck started. So yeah, definitely go pick her up if you can. She is about 8 to 10 quid as well. You only need 2 of her really, because it can get a bit cloggy. All the other secrets are like £1 each, and then the Generaider Field Spell, like I said, you do need 3 of, as it is the most important. But I hope you like this. I hope it's given you a couple of ideas. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell so you do not miss out on anything. And until next time, guys, as always, happy dawning.